Hey guys, Sif Lawyer Wano here with a new video, and I Death Star Radio. So basically, this is going to be a weekly video where I talk about a certain Star Wars topic with a certain panelist or panel. And today I have a very special guest, a friend of mine, Brian from the Star Wars Canon Library.
Hey, well, how's it going, guys?
Yeah, so today we have a very interesting speculated ever since the release of The Force Awakens. Will Rey go to the Darkside, and will Kylo Ren be redeemed? So, your initial thoughts? I think.
Oh, okay. Right off the bat, right now there's really nothing as far as evidence-wise pointing towards Rey going dark, but I'm hoping to God she does. This is something that I think a lot of people would be unexpecting to see. It would be something that would take a lot of people by surprise, especially considering, I mean, anybody who watches Episode 7 is in love with Daisy Ridley. She's like my biggest celebrity crush right now. I'm in love with her, and my fiance knows it, and I don't care. I'm in love with Daisy Ridley, and she's such a sweetheart. She's the new sweetheart of the world, and to see somebody like that go dark would be almost heartbreaking and almost bone-chilling, you know? And I think it's something... Obviously, Disney is willing to go dark. We saw Rogue One. We really didn't think that they were going to kill off everybody in Rogue One, and they did.
Oh yeah.
So I don't have any doubt in my mind that Disney would be willing to turn Rey to the dark side. Now, on the flip side, with Kylo Ren being redeemed, man, I don't know. He killed Han Solo, man, and there's no coming back from that, you know. And it's, I mean, God, I don't know. I don't know about Kylo. If I had to pick one that was more likely to happen, it would be Rey going dark.
Yeah, Rey going dark would be a shocker, man. Like I just about that, especially like you said, she's this. How can you not like her? She's to dislike. So having her a villain in the movie, I think it'd be a real turn. But I don't see it that far off in them from actually doing it. If you read the Force Awakens novelization, they mention there's a voice talking to her, and that she uses pretty much her emotion stuff when she's fighting Kylo at the end. So maybe she could go to the end. Can she dark? I'm asking.
I'm hoping though. I mean, especially like we were just talking on War of the Stars about how the trilogies are similar to each other, like poetry, that is, George Lucas has said. And, the first trilogy ended on a really dark note with Anakin turning to the dark side. The second trilogy ended on a really high note with what we thought at first was the end of the Empire. We found out later it went on, but on a really high note, one of those happily ever after endings. Why not end this next trilogy on a serious, dark note and just leave everybody walking away bone-chilled?
Yeah. I think what would be really cool to end it in a dark note is have Rey go dark and have her kill Luke at the end. Have that be the ending.
Oh God, yeah. Oh my God, yes. I'm hoping. I know because there's another theory going around that one of the followers of the Canon Library, he thinks Leia's going to kill Luke, and he's got a lot of evidence to back it up. But I mean, and as far as the novels go and stuff, but man, Rey killing Luke, man, that would be worse than Kylo killing Han.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's Luke freaking Skywalker. You don't just, and then to feel the gut-wrenching knot in your stomach if Luke's standing there and a blue lightsaber comes through Luke and Rey's on the other end of it, can you imagine? Like my blood would run cold, like.
I mean, during the Force Awakens, once Han stepped on for some reason rail-less brick. I felt it in my gut. I felt the nervousness. I was like, "Oh, here it comes. He's."
Yeah, it's done. Yeah.
After Luke, you see Rey, and she's like, she knows what she has to do. I mean, but she's probably not going to be conflicted by it. She's like, "Okay, I'm gonna kill him." The theater's gonna go silent. It's just gonna be quiet. Maybe some dialogue, and then lightsaber going through Luke.
Oh man, that would. You could even have her be conflicted about it also. I mean, it would add a lot more tension to an already astronomically tense situation. Just, if Okay, almost put her in the same situation as Anakin was in Episode 3, when he's having to choose between Emperor Palpatine, or I'm sorry, Chancellor Palpatine at that point, and Mace Windu, and he goes Mace Windu, and he, lops his hand off and the Emperor throws him out a window. Almost do that same kind of thing where she's looking back and forth, like have Snoke and Luke like in this epic lightsaber battle, and she has to choose which one to help, and she just, and like it looks like Luke's gonna win, and then blue blade comes right through his chest, and the look on Luke's face, I can see it already, and I'm already gonna have nightmares about it, and it's like 4 years away, and I'm already gonna have nightmares about it.
I know, man. That would be. And what if even Rey killed Luke, right? And then he flashes down Snoke, and then it's Ben
and takes his place.
Rey.
That would be really. I just really hope they don't do the whole love story thing. That everybody. Oh, for the love of God, no, man. I mean, because even in Episode 7, she flat out looked at Kylo Ren and said, "You're a monster."
Yeah.
There's no way those two are ever gonna.
Section 9.
Yeah, and besides, it even says. I know I'm getting off track here, but what the hell? They even mentioned in the novelization. It wasn't in the film, but Rey and Poe kind of had a thing.
Oh yeah,
right at the end of the novel. So
I thought better just because the whole Kylo and Rey thing. I don't make sense. Like, how do you go from worst enemies to lover?
Yeah, but at the same time, how do you do master and apprentice and be together like that? I mean, that's a little bit of a rough. They're going to be making their Facebook statuses. It's complicated.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of, Poe and Rey, I always think about, okay, so Rey is, in a new way, she's the Luke of the this trilogy.
Right.
So Finn is the Han? Who would you consider, who's the Han Solo? Is it Poe or is it Finn?
The Han, I would almost say Poe. The witty remarks, the charm, the piloting skills, I would almost, the swashbuckling pilot, I would almost say it's Poe. And then Finn would be more, the Princess Leia character. So, yeah. But, I mean, I've always, ever since I saw The Force Awakens, I've seen similarities between Poe and Han. And that was two people I really wish would have gotten more screen time together than what they did. But, it's Poe is the Han cookie cutter shape. So
for Kylo going back to the light side, the Force Awakens, we know that he's been conflicted with this whole the light side. It's pulling him, which I thought was a very interesting, take on his character, because we always hear about light side character being pulled by the dark. Mm-hmm. This time we had the dark side character being pulled by the light. Will he get redeemed? You think the mind give into the fans? Will he ever be forgiven?
No. Like what you were saying about how he's being pulled to the light side. Episode 7 was the first time you ever heard the phrase "being seduced by the light side," and it was refreshing in a way, and it was just like, what, you never really thought about that. As far as him being redeemed in the fans' eyes, I'm going to say no. They're going to have to really pull something out to make that happen in our eyes. Because, I mean, when I saw The Force Awakens for the first time, I knew Han was going to die. But there's a difference between knowing it's going to happen and seeing it happen. And to actually see the saber ignite and, and the look on Han's face, my blood ran cold in the theater, man. And it's just, and I actually teared up. I grabbed Kirsty's hand and started squeezing. And she ended up, like, prying my hand off of hers because I was squeezing so hard. I walked out just like, oh my! And no matter how many times I watch the classic trilogy now, and I see Han Solo, in my head he's dead.
Yeah,
I've seen him die. There's no bringing him back at this point. There's no redemption for Kylo, as far as I'm concerned. Now I could be wrong. They may pull something out of their, pocket and up their sleeve, and make it completely acceptable. But as far, I don't know what that would be. I have no idea.
Yeah, speaking on the death, it's just like, I think they were just tossing it back and forth in the movie. Like, you're like, okay, it's gonna happen now. Wait, no, not yet. And then it's just like the thing that you knew was coming, but it just happened. And then when it happened, you just lost your breath. You're like, it's just like, oh, you didn't say anything. You're just like, oh, it's just, he's fucking dead.
Yeah, yeah. And the worst part about it too wasn't even the saber going through his chest. It was when he fell off the catwalk and you hear the
yeah
that last breath. I was like, oh god!
And just like that he's just like touches Kylo's face as he touches the fall, fall. Just say that even though you just killed me, you're my son.
Yeah. And then to watch him tumble into the abyss, man, that was.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was
cemented it more for me was Chewbacca's roar.
Yeah.
Fires at Kylo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
man, that. No. Go ahead. I
was just thinking back to the whole Kylo thing. Let's just say there's an instance where Snoke is about to kill Leia, and then Kylo looks at her, he's watching, and he's kind of like, Snoke is force shocking Leia, and then Kylo's there. What do you think he would do? That's his moment when he would do. He saves either Luke or Leia from Snoke.
Okay. Well, going back to the novel for The Force Awakens, one of the big scenes in that novel that wasn't in the film was the extra dialogue between Snoke and Kylo Ren. The first time we see Snoke. And one of the things Snoke says to him is what brought down the Empire was sentiment.
Yeah.
When the moment came where Vader had to choose between Luke or the Emperor, he chose Luke. And that's what brought down an entire empire. And in the book, that was a literal lesson Snoke was teaching to Kylo Ren. To put him in that situation, would he follow through with it? I don't know. I mean, if it's between Luke and Leia, man, I really don't know. That's assuming he would have to save one of them, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking he goes. I'm thinking he saves Leia, because if he's got to save one of them, that means he's got a chance at redemption. And if there's any chance at all for that for him, he's gonna have regret about Han, and he's not gonna let his mother go out the same way that his father did.
Yeah. That's the tough thing, man. If they do try to redeem Kylo, it's gonna be really hard, especially with Kylo.
Yeah.
Because the way The Force Awakens ended off, Kylo in Episode 8, he should be one pissed off.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be filled on that anger to actually kill Rey this time, because it's like when you think you're good at something, and then some new person comes and one-ups
you. Yeah.
Like, dude, man, you're supposed to be like the best, and then and just comes and kicks your ass.
Yeah.
Do it.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. In the teaser trailer for Episode 8, when we see that one shot of Kylo Ren, did he have Sith eyes in that shot, or was it just reflecting
when he's holding this
something?
Turning it?
Yeah, when he's holding the saber and he's twisting it. Was it just, were his eyes red? I don't remember.
I don't know. I think it might have been the whole
the reflection.
But I know it would have been from Celebration. There is a picture of him staring outside into space, and he has.
Does he?
Yeah. So I mean, either he's turning into a Gungan or he's turning into a Sith. So.
Actually, I'm looking at the picture now. No, he doesn't have the yellow eyes in the picture. It's just the saber reflecting.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean,
no, that would have been a nice touch.
It would have.
But at the same time, he's not a Sith Lord.
Yet.
Well, yeah. How do you feel about them moving his scar? Have you seen anything about this? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I liked that Rian Johnson moved it because, the reason he said it just looked foolish the way he had it. Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense, consistency-wise, how that big cut just moved smaller to, very similar to Anakin's scar.
Right.
But then again, there are a lot of stuff in Star Wars that are inconsistent. As long as it doesn't, he fixed it for a reason. He didn't just move.
Yeah.
So, I want to move the scar. He had to and fix it. If it looks better, then it looks better. What do you?
Well, hell, how many times in the classic trilogy have they reversed the footage and R2-D2 was backwards? All of his details were backwards. I mean, just stupid. I mean, there's continuity errors in every movie, and but a what's the word I'm looking for? God, I can't even think of the word. Of a change that he meant to do like that. I don't have a problem with it, just because, I mean, with healing, I mean, with medical technology and stuff, you know, they could have pulled the skin over, stapled it, or, you know, sewed it up, or, you know, even the Bacta wrap could have, you know, shrunk that sucker down so much, because, you know, Bacta was involved in that. I mean, he was gashed open, and now he's got just this tiny line scar. I'm sure some medical droid was like, "Hey, we're gonna try to save your face," and like stretched it over a little bit and stapled it just right where he like, "Oh yeah, all right, doesn't look bad," you know.
Yeah.
So even if they don't explain it off, I'll be all right with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me.
So we get some kind of explanation, like why he, how he got. Let me ask you. Okay, so what do you think? Episode 8. It has to end on a cliffhanger. We know that. We assume someone's going to get their arm cut off. Is it going to be Rey or is it going to be Kylo?
Ooh, man! At the beginning of this video, I sat here and said how much I'm in love with Daisy Ridley, but I want to see her get her arm cut off, man. I keep hoping for all this bad stuff to happen to her character, but I love her to death. But anyway, no, I don't. I would almost have to say, well, no, because Rey would be almost like copycat of Luke at that point. At first, I thought Kylo lost his hand in Episode 7 the first time I saw it, because it's just a quick glance, and I wasn't sure what happened. And then later, when it came out on Blu-ray, I was able to actually zoom in and look, and he's, you know, it wasn't. But I don't know, man. If I had to pick one, I'm Kylo.
Yeah.
Kylo.
Just because it adds to the whole, you know, I think eventually in this trilogy he's going to become sort of an embodiment of Vader. And off his arm, he's going to become, you know, more machine than the man.
Yeah.
He's going to become, you know, less of his original self and he's going to be more, you know, more of a doctor's.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, that's if. I can't see Rey losing. I don't know why. I can't see her getting it cut off.
My heart would break for that girl, man. Oh my God. Well, no, see, but then if Kylo loses his, he's getting a bad rap in every movie so far, because the first movie he gets his face half cut off, and then in the second one he loses a hand. You know, I mean, I don't know. That's a good toss up, man.
I mean, and I doubt it's like Poe or Finn are gonna lose a hand. I just don't.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna say Kylo Ren. If I had to pick one, it's gonna be Kylo.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Okay, so what do you think? How do you think Episode 8 will end? What do you think?
I've heard somebody tell me that they thought it was gonna end, like 8 was gonna end with Rey going dark, but I don't think that's the case at all. You would have to have more of a story behind. You'd have to plant the seeds really early as far as Darkside goes with Rey, for her to go dark in 8, and that's more than one movie's worth of storytelling.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be anything like that. I've almost, like, what if 8 ends with Luke dying? Like, what if Luke goes out at the end of 8?
Oh.
Because we do know Mark Hamill signed on for 9. He's already said that. But it doesn't say he's alive. This is Star Wars, and he's a Jedi.
Yeah, Force.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, who would kill him? Would it be Snoke or would it be Kylo? I just can't see Kylo. I don't think he's powerful enough to kill Luke.
I have this fantasy of at some point in this new trilogy we're going to see Luke and Snoke go toe to toe, like saber to saber. I that's going to happen. But I don't see them doing that in 8. But if Luke's going to die in 8, I want Snoke to be the one to take him out. Because at that point it'll almost feel like the bad guys are going to win, and you're anxious to see what's going to happen in 9. That would leave a dark spot for 9 to start at. And then if Rey goes dark in 9, I mean, this trilogy just went dark, dark, darkest, you know? Like, and yeah, man, God, the New Republic is already gone. Man, I really don't know. The only thing I can think of is Luke dying. Or Leia.
Yeah. mean, the way it's gonna end on a main we know on a 2 years of what's actually gonna continue. So I think gonna do this biggest question I have is how's it gonna end?
Man,
what are gonna be the stakes at the end of episode 8?
Man, I really it's hard to come up with an idea. We don't know the story of 8 yet. I mean, we don't know really anything that's going on. But I think after we get one more trailer, we'll have a little more of a sense.
Yeah.
Of how 8 could end, because I know we're getting at least one more trailer, and it's probably going to be in October.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably won't get anything at D23 as far as The Last Jedi. Han Solo we might, but
yeah.
D23 I don't think we're going to get anything Last Jedi. So I mean, really, I don't even know if we can answer that until October.
Yeah. So speaking of Han Solo, let me ask you this quick question that's going off on a tangent. What do you think the official title of the Han Solo movie is going to be?
Okay, first off, I think we're going to get it at D23.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get the title at D23, because by then we'll be, 9 months from the movie?
About.
We knew the title for Rogue One like a year and a half in advance. God, man, I really don't know, because the only thing I can think of would have the word smuggler in it, but all his novels, like the Han Solo novel, is Smuggler's Run.
Yeah.
God, I really don't know. I mean, because, again, we don't know what the story is.
Yeah.
I really hope it's not just Han Solo, a Star Wars story. Like, please, God, no. You know? Don't even, not Solo, a Star Wars story. That's just, whatever it is, it's going to have a Star Wars story at the end of it. So, man, I don't know.
That's my biggest thing about the Han.
I don't know.
What is the title going to be? Like, what do you think of that movie? Like you said, those titles, Solo or Han Solo, or just that's a horrible title.
It is, and I mean, there's more secrecy around this movie than there was The Force Awakens at this point.
Yeah,
because we had the title for Force Awakens it was like 13 months in advance.
Yeah.
13, 14 months in advance, and then we got the first teaser like 13 months in advance. Han Solo, we haven't seen Jack yet.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't seen him in the costume. The only thing we've seen is a couple set photos. We haven't seen him in the costume. We've only seen the blaster in like an Instagram shot from last May 4th. And really that's about it. And a couple of aerial set shots, in the desert. But other than that, we really don't know anything about it.
Yeah, the big thing for the Han Solo movie, I think to me, or to most people, is just can he know Han Solo?
I think once we get the first trailer, because D23 is what, in July?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get the first trailer in D23, and that trailer is going to be what's going to make or break a lot of people's opinions about the movie, because I know there's a lot of negativity going towards him playing Han Solo at this point. Nobody else can be Han Solo, but at the same time, those same people are like, well, what if we did a young Luke story and Sebastian Stan played young Luke? But yeah, okay, you can replace Luke, but you can't replace Han. Doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, I think this trailer had better be damn good. It has to be. I mean, there's a lot riding on this movie. And really, Alden Ehrenreich's career at this point is riding on this movie. I mean, if he bombs this, man, he's done. But so far, everything I've heard from actors on set, which they have to say positive stuff to sell the movie, but so far everybody has seemed very genuine when they say he nails it.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the biggest thing, too, is that he can't be just a copy of Ford. He has to he has to get the essence of Han Solo, but still make the character his own.
Right.
It's a very good advantage of the fact that at this point he's still a smuggler. He's still the Han first. Sentimental guy that we know towards the end of the original guy that trilogy. So
he's still a scoundrel, yeah.
Speaking of Han Solo, do you think we'll finally see the scene where he drops his shipment at the side of Imperials?
God, I hope so, because I get so many questions about what actually happened between him and Jabba that I almost need to make a video on it. The official story is that he was hauling spice for Jabba the Hutt. An Imperial Star Destroyer showed up. He dumped the cargo, got boarded, they didn't find anything, the Star Destroyer took off, and he went back for the cargo and couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And ended up owing Jabba for it. Man, I hope to God we see that. Like, that would be an awesome, like, third act event to happen in the Han Solo movie, because we know he's getting the Falcon in this movie. Obviously, he's getting the Falcon in this movie, and that's the other thing I'm excited to see. I want to see Lando. I want to see the look on Lando's face when Han wins the keys to that sucker. Like, I've been dying to see that, and we're finally gonna get it. But I think we're gonna see that. I really do. I really think Jabba's gonna play a part in the Han Solo movie. He'd almost have to. Yeah, I think we're gonna see it. I really do.
I also want to see so when we see Lando in episode 5, the first thing he says, we have a lot of nerve showing up here after what you pulled.
Mm-hmm.
What did he pull? I want to see what he did, what he pulled to Lando or to, Bespin.
Yeah.
What did he do? I'm pretty sure he...
Well, I think it's touched on one of the comics. Which one is it? Or maybe it wasn't a comic. Oh, God, it was touched on one of the... some piece of canon material. I don't remember what it was. Han was talking about... Maybe it was the novelization of 4. But he was talking about how when he got the Falcon, he actually cheated.
Huh.
Him and Lando both cheated, just Han cheated better. And so he didn't win the Falcon fair and square like he said. He actually cheated to get it. So I don't know if that's what Lando would be referring to, or... Man, I don't know. Because it looked like Lando took it pretty personally. Because Han was really nervous seeing him again.
Yeah.
So, man, I don't know. It wasn't really touched on in the Lando comic. It wasn't touched on in the Han comic at all. I don't remember where it was.
I don't remember it.
Oh, no, I remember where it was. It was Smuggler's Run. Because at the beginning of that book, he's like an old man telling the story about the Millennium Falcon, and he was talking about how he cheated to get it. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay, so going back to the topic now.
Yeah.
Rey and Kylo. Okay.
Yeah.
Will Rey become an official Jedi? What do you think?
I don't think she will. I don't think she will ever reach I don't think she will ever carry the title as Jedi. Because I mean, Luke's a Debbie Downer at this point. I mean, and I really do. I don't think that's something that they're just marketing to sell the movie, because they don't need to do something like that to sell the movie. They could do something like that to get hype up, but I think they're serious when they say the Jedi need to end. I really do, and I think Rey will be the first in a new breed of Force-using Peacekeeper, but not a Jedi. I think she will be the first of some kind of new warrior, new order. I could be completely wrong, but I mean, that's just what I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I kind of think it is. I think he literally means it's time for the Jedi to end. I think he means, not necessarily end as in, I'm turn to the dark side and kill the Jedi.
Right.
I think he just means it as in, the Jedi, the term of a Jedi needs to evolve. We need our ways, and because old ways didn't work. They're not going to work in the time that they are in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think.
Well, it didn't work for the first Jedi Order. It didn't work for the second Jedi Order.
And didn't work for his either.
Yeah.
I think he really wants to evolve the term of being a Jedi and being what it means to be a Jedi, especially if he's going to defeat Snoke, him being a powerful being that we know him to be. Did you?
Yeah.
You had this fear too, but did you have that fear when you first saw Snoke that he was going to be, and we were going to see like Luke fighting?
For just a second, I did. Like that whole scene, I was sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, this guy is just." Because in one of the old Dark Horse comics, and I don't remember which one it was. I can't remember. This is from like the mid '90s. There was one comic book where I remember it was like this genie-like character that was freaking like the size of the Hulk, and he had a giant red lightsaber, and he was fighting this normal-sized guy, and they were actually fighting with lightsabers. And I was like, there's no freaking way. And as soon as I saw Snoke that big, I was like, oh, God, don't tell me they're doing that. And then it fizzled out as a hologram, and I actually felt my heart start beating again. So, I mean, the fact that he's 7 feet tall, I can handle that. That's within the realm of acceptance. But the fact they're going practical effect on him in this movie too, in episode 8, is really exciting as well.
Yeah, definitely, because I mean you have Andy Serkis, because
Mm-hmm.
they're the best motion capture artists of all time. Him sit in a chair, and
Yeah.
like I think once use his abilities, mix that with the practical puppet when he's just sitting there.
Right.
But wait, I'm interested to see how he actually fights. Is he
Mm-hmm.
is he gonna like how would Luke defeat him? Like that's my thing. Like how would Luke really? He's okay. So how Luke is like what? Mark Hamill's like 5. He's not 6 feet, is he?
No, I think he's like 5'11".
Oh yeah. So I want to see.
I could.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's like 6 feet. No,
Yeah. Hang on. I keep talking. I'll look it up.
but I don't think. I just want to see how he's gonna compare to Snoke being 7 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I want.
Yeah. He's 5'9".
He's 5'9". Oh, he's
5'9". Yeah.
he's pretty small.
Yeah.
And yeah, because that was my biggest fear when I first saw Snoke. I was like, oh god, they're really gonna do this? How is Luke gonna fight? And is he like jumping off the walls, trying to hit him? And now
Mm-hmm.
the little lightsaber gonna do this? Not Snoke, this giant.
Well, here's a theory that we haven't touched on at all yet. What if the big fight between Luke and Snoke, assuming it happens, which I think we can safely assume that Luke and Snoke are going to go head to head at some point. What if it's not a lightsaber battle at all, and it's more of commanding of the Force battle? You know what I mean? More of almost like what happened between Dooku and Yoda in Episode 2.
Yeah.
Before they went to lightsabers,
Yeah.
It's obvious this contest cannot be decided by our control of the Force, but by our skills of a lightsaber. What if it's the other way around with Luke and Snoke? I mean, what if they just full on start using Force powers on each other and just go to town, man?
That'd be cool.
That'd be freaking awesome. Because they already said we're going to get Force powers we've never seen before.
Yeah.
And I can't even think of anything else you could do with the Force that we haven't already seen.
I know, especially because Episode 7 they expanded on what the Force could do as well. What else do last year?
Yeah.
What could Luke do if he's been meditating, looking in the origins of the Jedi? What can he do now?
Mm-hmm.
See him just unleash, especially on Night man. That's what I want to see.
Dude, how cool would it be? Okay, you and I picture this in your head because I know you would lose your freaking mind just as badly as I would. What if we get to Episode 9? Luke and Snoke are going to town each other. This epic lightsaber battle, like it's the mother of all lightsaber battles. All the rest of them look like Obi-Wan versus Vader on the Death Star. And Snoke comes in and swings his lightsaber down, and Luke's lightsaber is off to the side, gets knocked out of his hand or something, and he reaches up with his robotic hand and just grabs the lightsaber blade and stops it. Like, how freaking cool would that be? Like, really?
Wow.
Sorry, I just happened to think of that.
Let me have one last thing before we wrap it up. Okay.
Sure.
Do you think Luke will take this vow of not fighting? Like some people are saying he's not going to pick up the saber in the whole movie.
He's going to pick his saber up. He has to. I think Disney at this point knows that if we don't get Luke with that green lightsaber, we're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
We are going to riot if we don't get.
He froze. That's okay. Let me. Okay, so I think he froze, and I think that's gonna end the video because Sith Lord 3.0 here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video with my friend Brian from the Star Wars Canon Library, and I'll link his YouTube channel in the description below. Sorry, I can't speak. Cat got my tongue. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys check out next week for next week's episode of Death Star Radio, where we cover any Star Wars topic in the world of the galaxy far, far away. Talk about it with a panel or panelist. And as always, guys, make sure if you guys like the video, you guys like and subscribe. And let me ask you guys, what do you guys think? You guys think Rey will go to the dark side, and you guys think Kylo will go to the light side? Comment below and let me know. And as always, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SithLord310. Check me out on the War of the Stars podcast, which I will link below if it is available at this time. And as always, may the Force be with you.